This video comes from another driver who was on a highway around 3:42, in the middle of the night. Little did he know he was about to capture something that might explain a strange accident that happened that night. In the video, we can see a big truck driving in the distance, and then, for some reason, it crashes into the car in front, causing an accident. At first, the person recording thought maybe the small car had lost control, and that's why the big truck hit it. But if you look closely at the left side of the highway, there's something really eerie. A thin, black shadow figure just standing there while all the other cars pass by. Could this shadow have something to do with the accident? Did the small car swerve to avoid it, lose control, and crash into the truck? We can only guess what really happened that night, but it definitely seems like something paranormal is going on. It's quite unsettling, isn't it? In this next video, a driver didn't expect anything unusual that night. He was simply heading home after spending time with friends. Honestly, he was pretty zoned out after driving for over 20 minutes. But then, something strange happened. In the pitch darkness of the night, he spotted someone or something walking on the road. This figure was wrapped in a white cloth, and they didn't have any light to guide them. The person who uploaded the video called it the Phantom Incident. At first, he thought it might be some weirdo in a blanket, but something about the encounter just didn't feel right. It's really dangerous for anyone to walk on a dark highway like that. So, was it a ghost? Some kind of strange being, or just a regular person? It's tough to say for sure. It's definitely unsettling though, isn't it? In this video shared by Mysterio Canada, an anonymous person from Mexico uploaded something really strange. They said they were driving on an old mountain road one night in a remote area in southern Mexico when they saw something really unsettling, a burning witch. They claimed they saw her a few times, but this was the only time they managed to capture it on camera. It's really hard to see any details, but you can definitely spot a burning thing on the road that suddenly disappears into thin air. It's a mystery. Why the person thought it was a witch, and I'm wondering if there might be some other explanation for this. What do you think it could be? It's quite intriguing, isn't it? Now, let's examine a video recorded by a young man who tells us that he was driving around the next night, heading to a friend's house. The road he took led him through a quiet stretch, especially at night when there wasn't much traffic. It's quite deserted. However, he noticed a rather eerie person standing by the side of the road. He soon turned around and shared what he encountered with us.
I'm driving and I see some, look at the, there's something up here. Hello?
In the video, we see someone with long, dark hair standing in complete darkness, apparently trying to spook passing cars. Many people speculate that this could be a peculiar individual who enjoys scaring drivers, which seems like the most plausible explanation unless proven otherwise. However, it's worth noting that staying on a poorly lit road late at night can be risky. Ultimately, we can't say with certainty what exactly occurred in this situation. The man recorded it while riding his motorcycle at night on the outskirts of town. In this area, there are many ghost stories and stories from villagers. According to the person who recorded the video, he was simply driving around at the time. Then, he saw a strange figure by the side of the road wearing what seemed to be white clothing. He then witnessed something remarkable. The man turned around after observing this figure rise into the air and hover there. Such an action is beyond what an ordinary person can do. Should we consider that he encountered a genuine spirit? The man was so frightened by this experience that he avoided driving on this road at night for a while. Can we really blame him? Now let's talk about a recording shared by the Vickers Hill RMAC profile. Someone in a car noticed a really strange person wearing very old-fashioned clothes walking on the left side of the street. The channel simply wrote, "So there's a ghost on Vickers Hill Army." That was the moment when this shadowy figure, dressed in what looked like Georgian attire, was seen walking across the road and then vanishing into the grounds of St. Patrick's Church of Ireland Cathedral. This footage even made it onto a BBC Two news show. But here's the thing, some folks aren't entirely convinced about what we're seeing here. Is it a ghost? Well, some say yes. But others are pretty sure it's just someone dressed up, maybe attending a local event. They also point out that there might be an entrance on the right side that we can't see from this angle, which could explain why this person seems to disappear into the wall. So, what's your take on this? Is it a ghostly figure or could it just be an unfortunate recording? It's quite mysterious. This next video was recorded by Pedro's Dashcam while he was out delivering goods one night. His co-workers had talked about seeing strange things on that specific stretch of road, and it seemed that Pedro might have witnessed something himself. As he was driving, Pedro noticed something that looked like a pale woman sitting on the right side of the road. She didn't appear human at all, and her fingers in particular seemed really eerie. Pedro saw this with his own eyes at the time, but he chose not to stop and find out who or what she was. There's a belief that this might have been something from another world, welcoming the oncoming truck. It's quite spooky. Here's the next video, and it was recorded by a bus driver who felt really uneasy. He had parked the bus at the end of his day, but his dash cam in the vehicle showed something strange. There appeared to be a person still sitting in the front row with some kind of weird pack or something. What's really odd is that the driver went through the last few hours of recorded footage and couldn't spot anyone who looked even remotely like that passenger. So, could it possibly be a ghost passenger? It's quite unsettling, don't you think? Let's watch this video that a man on a bicycle originally recorded while he was on his way to buy groceries. It was early evening, and he was riding along a busy city street. After a little while, it became clear that there might have been an accident. The man was naturally curious and looked around. As he passed the scene, he later found out that a tragic collision had occurred. As sad as it is, some people believe that the ghost might still be there. Let's watch it together. The man who recorded the video checked it at home and was shocked to see a spooky, pale figure in a white dress standing in the middle of the road. What's even stranger, it seemed like the figure didn't have a head. For the man, there was no doubt that this scary thing was a ghost without a head, but he was not sure if it was connected to the accident. Regardless of the answer, it's quite eerie, don't you think? This video was posted by the Quemahoning Paranormal Group, and they're really concerned that the person who recorded it might have encountered something spooky that night. They think it could be the Lantern Man of the Quemahoning Dam. This Lantern Man is believed to hang around the reservoir and usually appears as a strange, faraway red light where there shouldn't be one. The guy who took this video claims he was driving home after a fishing trip on a remote road through the dense forest near the Quemahoning Reservoir. And, well, when we look at the clip, we can definitely see a creepy figure wearing dark clothes. Some folks even say he looks almost like a skeleton. They wonder if this might be the spirit of someone who drowned in the dam a long time ago. Could it really be his spirit? It's a really scary thought, running into such a spooky-looking ghost out there in the middle of nowhere, all alone. It's like a real-life nightmare. This video was shared by a young man who thinks he captured something really strange and unexplainable. It happened one night while he was in the streets of Cacaapava in Sao Paulo, and what he saw caught him completely off guard. As he stopped at a streetlight, a bizarre creature suddenly darted across the road. Even now, he has no clue what this thing could have been. In his opinion, it didn't look human, and it definitely wasn't any kind of animal he could identify. Do you have any idea about what we might be seeing in this video? This strange creature just disappeared to the left and then vanished. Could it be some kind of mysterious creature, perhaps? It's really hard to say for sure. Quite puzzling, don't you think? Here's the next video, and it's shared by Team IBU23. The person in the video seemed really confused that night. He was heading home when he looked up at the sky and got totally amazed. He'd never seen anything like it before, and he was hoping his viewers could help explain it. It was super strange for him. Lots of people who left comments were wondering how there could be two different suns in the sky.
Can somebody explain it to me? There's something going on over here, right? But the sun is over here setting right now. The sun is over there setting. What is that?
Some folks thought it might be some natural thing happening, or maybe something to do with aliens. But the most reasonable explanation people had was that it was just a sundog. A sundog is like a bright spot that appears next to the sun in the sky. Even though it looks really beautiful, it's just an optical thing that doesn't happen often. It's kind of mind-blowing, right? Here's a really odd video that two friends recorded one night while they were driving through a town. At the time, they were talking about an urban legend. It's a story that says a woman in white sometimes appears on these very streets, scaring people in the area. Of course, they weren't expecting to see anything that night, but it turns out they might have captured something without even realizing it. After reviewing the recording, they spotted something in the left side mirror. Some folks believe this could be the spirit that's said to wander these streets at night. Could it really be that? It looks pretty eerie in my opinion. And if it's not just some kind of video trick, maybe we're actually looking at a malevolent spirit here. It's quite unsettling. This next video was shared by Sherman O'Neill, who runs a local trucking business in Oklahoma. He says that one of his drivers recorded something really unsettling one night while out on the road delivering freight. The driver was so shaken by what happened that he called Sherman right away. As the driver was driving, he saw something on the road. Concerned that someone might have been hurt, he pulled over to check. But to his surprise, there was no one there. What's even stranger is that it looked like a child in old-fashioned clothing, maybe even a dress. It's nearly impossible for a child to be out there all alone at night, walking on a dark highway. That's why they're thinking this might be a ghost. What's your take on this? I can't come up with any other explanation. It's really eerie. The next video. A man was driving on a narrow, remote road one night in the middle of nowhere. This area has a reputation for being a place where spooky things have happened for the past 100 years. The most common story is about the lady in red. People say they've seen her from time to time standing by the side of the road, watching passing vehicles. It's said that she lost her life in this very area a long time ago, but her spirit is believed to still haunt this place. The man felt really uneasy. when he noticed a figure in what looked like a red dress. He just wanted to get home as quickly as possible after seeing this thing by the side of the road. I guess we'll never know for sure if that was the lady in red or just someone who was lost. It's a real mystery.